Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I want to talk some on my Mexico experience. I was in Mexico um not quite through the winter. I came back early, and it's been cold since I've been back. Yeah, I've been back about a week now, and today was the first time I seen the sun since I've been back, and it helped me a lot. Um, I'm really having a hard time. I don't know how you say it, adapting back to the United States, the cultural shock kind of thing, along with 80 degrees there, and here I think we've had the high in the 20s since I've been back, and like I say, no sun. Today was the first time I had the sun, and I made use of it. I woke up and it was sun. I got dressed. I went out. I got on the south side of the building. I get out of the, the wind and just soaked up the sun. I really missed the sun. But I say it's been a challenge being back. Um, just about the whole time. I went back the first part of December, and this is the first part of March 2019. And Mexico isn't a new thing for me. I've been going, I lived in Guatemala uh, since what, 2003, something like that. And I've been driving back and forth. And driving down in that part of the world is a challenge. You can, each time when you do it, it's an experience. Each time you do it, you're pushing your luck. And I did it a lot. And I know I was pushing my luck. A lot of things I had to deal with. But this trip was different. I flew down, and then I used the bus. Bus is probably about the safest way to travel in Mexico, and so I was busing on as I was going around. And when I first got there, the first thing the governor of where I went was a woman, and her husband had a helicopter accident and died. Most people believe it wasn't an accident, and that happened when I first got there. Um, One thing I see, I know all kinds of people of all up and down the social ladder, and one thing that I learned, the more prosperous someone is, the more they see the new president as a socialist, and the further down you are on the social ladder, oh, they see the new president of Mexico as being a very good person, and they don't, and they are socialists. The ones that are doing, I mean, they're always, give me, they, oh, we're getting this for free. We're getting this. So they don't know it, but that's a socialist. That's a socialist wants things for free. People that prosper uh, get what they want instead of just taking whatever crumbs is dished out to them. And so I've seen it down there. And like I've always said, anything, when I go out of the country, everything is more obvious. The same things happen here in the United States, the same thing that happens in other places, but it's much more obvious. And it sure was this trip. I say, man, I just, one person I've known for about 15 years, maybe probably about 12 years. And he was a big old boy. He's probably about maybe 45, mid 40s, and he used to be. I don't really want to tell you what he did, but he worked for the government, and his size made him effective in his work. And that's when I met him. He was quite impressive then. And this time, when I was with him, I noticed he's not the same person. And we shared stories because I'm always asked whenever I go places. People are amazed because places I go, people don't go. Foreigners don't go. I'll put it that way. I mean, I don't care if we're in China, Southeast Asia, uh, Central America. I don't care where you're going. There's no tourists where I go, um, and always people are always amazed when they find me in these places when I don't speak the language and I got so many limitations. But so he's all he started asking me questions because he's known me this time and he can't figure out how I do what I do. And I was asking him some questions. We're trading stories. Come to find out, he was tortured, and he had electric on his testicles. It was one of the things that happened to him, and he's not the same person. And I always kind of thought that people change when they have life-changing events. That's a life-changing event. I've said stuff about in my series of videos, crappy Vietnam War stories. I'll put the link down below. And I got some stories that I was talking about on that kind of stuff. And like I say, it changed my life. And now this trip, not only this guy, like I say, talking to him, and I found out not good things. And then another guy I just met, and he was shot 6 times 2 years ago. And so I didn't know him before that, so I don't know how much he's changed, but he has changed. And I stayed with him the last couple weeks. I was in Mexico, and I was in Mexico City. And during that time, well, that was right after I got pickpocketed, and some other events happened. The only thing I had was just that, but the other events, I witnessed a lot of other things. One of those were a couple of things. I saw 2 dead bodies. One was in the street, and these are 2 separate times. Another one was next to the road. And the guy's wife was victimized 3 times in a month. And he told me we were in the worst part of Mexico City. And I talked about Mexico City is really, really bad. And what I got out of it is it's a city. Cities are bad anyway. But I could see how gangs, corruption, I don't know how you want to say it. I don't know any nice ways of saying it. But paid killers are all over that city. And I can see it happening in all cities. This is something that is not going to be a good thing. That's why I made a video talking about the cities, and that's a bad thing. And besides all that, the worst thing that's always been in my mind whenever I travel and I go to all these places, I'm by myself. And the worst thing that's always in the back of my mind is I'm going to get sick. And I did. I got sick. And a lot of it was the stress. I mean, it was continuous stress. I mean, the streets were really, really dangerous. And besides that, one place I stayed at, they had a volcano erupt down there. I was 30 miles away, and it blew the doors open. And there was deadly gas, but it's diluted, so it wasn't directly. But I mean, it was enough that, like I say, I was kind of sickly. The ash was real fine ash. And I rode my bicycle, and as a car would go by me, you'd see this kind of dust come up. And that's when it dawned on me, this can't be good either. So that's one reason why I left that place and went to Mexico City. But I learned a lot about people this time. Like I say, everything's more obvious. And I learned about how the uneducated people and the people that prosper, the difference between them. And it's big, big difference. And I can see this is going to be a problem we already have in the United States, but it's just getting really bad. It's going to get much worse. And it concerns me. And another thing that I got out of this trip is it kind of, I'm going to be changing my lifestyle. Big changes in my life. Like I say, this trip helped me see the future. It's not good. I prepare, I do stuff, but I say it's, and I made a video talking about the mercenaries and stuff like that, because I'm seeing how all this all ties together and how this stuff is going to really be bad. And I say, for me, it was a life-changing experience, this trip. And I'm still kind of, I say, I've been back a week in the cold, just sun just today. I'm having a hard time clearing my mind, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. But I know one thing, it won't be what I've been doing. I got to make changes. I'm trying to figure out how I want to make these changes, how I want to make it work. But I suggest you reevaluate your life and think what you can do to improve and prepare. This is something strange, and we need to be ready. I think that's a whole nother video, but anyway, I don't know, but we need to think and get ready. This Mike, NoStressMike.com.